Hello everyone. Recently I bought something called the MGM Hobby Chrome Super Magic Powder. In this case, this is the Electro Painting Powder. I bought it because it sounds interesting, by how apparently you can actually rub the powder on it and something will become chrome. That sounds quite interesting compared to getting chrome paint, which is quite difficult to get, and they usually don't work for some reason. But since my lighting here is quite yellow, as you can see that this is supposed to be a pure black piece of paper, but it's actually look really yellow, which is why I got a white piece of paper here to help us differentiate between white and black. So what's inside is just a bunch of fine black powder. They could be graphite, or they could be something similar to charcoal graphite. I.e., it's actually pretty similar to the stuff you would get if you take a pencil and decide to file it on a piece of fine sandpaper. Of course, this will save you the job of actually sanding the pencil with sandpaper. So there's not a lot of it, but then again, you don't actually use a lot to actually get the job done. So yeah. So they didn't actually give you a lot of instruction. They told you that you need to paint the original plastic surface with a gloss black before you actually apply the powder on. So that got me intrigued as to why you need to paint it. So this is the first thing I did. If it's going to focus, oh, there's pattern on this one, so it's quite difficult for it to focus. You know what? Let's do it like this. If it's going to focus, that is. Okay. So this piece of plastic is originally a extremely dark navy blue. So half of it I have painted with a clear gloss hard coat from Game Workshop, and the other half I keep it bare. And I apply the powder on it. By the way, the powder can be applied on with just a simple cotton bud, and you just put a little bit on. You just dip the cotton bud on the powder, just dip it gently, and then you just very slowly and gently rub around it. So, oh, by the way, this is a piece of a spare part from this kit, the Kotobukiya Rakutel Shino. This is a spare part. So one half of it, this half wasn't painted, and I put the powder on. And to be honest, it actually managed to create a little bit of a sheen. The problem is it doesn't stay on very well. You can actually, after it goes on, it wasn't very glossy, and you can actually wipe it off with your finger. While on this side, it's actually coated with the gloss coat first. The powder actually grip onto it and create a much shinier surface, and also it's a lot tougher. And you can still rub it off, but if you use some force on it. But overall, if you just put it on there and on a part that you won't expect it to be touched anymore, this is perfect. It has a slightly dark tint to it. If no light is hitting on it, it looks a bit like a light gunmetal color. Something similar to the Bolt gunmetal from the Game Workshop line. Or if you mix standard gunmetal paint and silver paint together and paint it on something, it will give you something similar effect as well. So that is what happens if you don't treat the surface before. Of course, the darker the surface to begin with, the less the color is going to show up on the surface through the chrome. Because this powder is not actually completely covering stuff, it's actually got a little bit of a translucent effect on it. So it does depend on what color plastic and what color paint you use behind it. So if you want a perfect chrome color with no color hue effect, you need to paint it with gloss black first. So move on to the second thing, and that is coating the top of on top of the chrome effect. So this is the spare head from the same kit. Now on this side, there is a coating of the clear hard coat again from the Game Workshop paint, and on this side it's left bare. So on the bare side it's actually really pretty nice actually. It's a very clear, a lot more silvery and very reflective chrome effect. While on this side, no, it's lose focus. Come on. While on this side, with the gloss coat on, when you put the paint over it, the powder actually got moved slightly, so it's sort of dulled the chrome effect, but it's still very good. Depending on how clean your chrome paint, your hard coat clear gloss paint is probably going to be better, because in my case mine is slightly dirty with a little bit of a blue on it, so it ends up being a little bit tinted. But by the fact that this is actually quite a good scratch and rub resistant coating, I mean there's no, if it's actually rub off, my finger is going to go a bit black. This is actually pretty good, and if you can coat it with a good quality airbrush or spray paint clear coat on it, I think it will look fine with or without the coating. But trying to avoid brush it on, because as I said before, it seems to sort of rub onto it and sort of dulled the effect that you originally meant to achieve by just polishing it. By the way, when I say polish, you just polish it with the cotton bud with the powder on. So this is pretty good. Now, do be careful. Oh, by the way, that's how easy it is to actually rub it off. You can't see it, but yeah, you can definitely see that I managed to rub it off just with my finger. So what use does it does? Well, this is one way to use it. This is the weapon that the Shino kit got, the Keto blade, which starts as this metallic grey gunmetal plastic. It's not really metallic, it's just grey really. But with this coating on, you can see that it looks pretty lifelike, a bit like, really like chrome now. You can almost see the reflection of the camera. So yeah, this is pretty good. I'm gonna experiment it onto it a little bit more. It seems like that the powder is not reactive against water-based acrylic paint, from what I could see. I haven't tried with anything else yet. I do have some enamel paint, and I'm not quite certain about putting enamel paint on. Not to mention my selection of enamel paint is pretty poor. I don't actually have a clear coat in enamel form. But yeah, so this is a little bit of experiment I have done over last week. So if you're interested, you can actually find the MGM electro painting powder quite a lot of places on the internet. One of the best places probably is from eBay. Get it from China, wait for about a month and a bit, and they come in. I could imagine this is going to last me for a while, unless I decide to make one certain model kit completely chrome plated. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I will. Yeah, let's see what happens when I get the kit. So that's basically it. Join me next time for another video.